Now, despite just launching the watch a few months ago, we are on an incredible pace of innovation. And to tell you about where we're going next, I'd like to invite Jeff Williams to the stage. Jeff?
Thanks, Tim. In June, just weeks after launching Apple Watch, we previewed our next generation of OS, and it's packed with powerful features. There are new watch faces, like this beautiful one with time transit, and third-party complications. Third-party complications, this is a big deal. It's a really powerful thing to be able to glance at your wrist and see the information that's important to you. And now with third-party complications, you can see even more. Things like the latest news or your airline departure time and time travel. Just rotate the digital crown and view the day ahead. It's the fastest way to see the next couple of meetings or check what the temperature will be later in the day, for example. And we're adding transit to maps, making it easier to find and use public transportation. Now, in addition to these and other built-in features, developers have been hard at work. There are already over 10,000 watch apps on the App Store. And now, with native apps, developers can do even more. Apps can display video. They can access hardware, like the microphone, speaker, and health sensors. I'd like to show you a few right now. Facebook Messenger is coming to the watch. Facebook Messenger allows users to send text, send audio messages, and share their location right from their wrist. And iTranslate, one of my personal favorites. Just speak into the microphone and see and hear translations in over 90 languages. And GoPro. The wrist is an ideal location to control your GoPro. And now the app turns the watch into a viewfinder. No matter where your camera's mounted, you'll always know where it's pointed and you'll never miss that important shot. And then AirStrip. This is an app that is for physicians, and I think it's a great example of just how far developers can go with native apps. But rather than describe it for you, I'd like to bring up Dr. Cameron Powell, co-founder of AirStrip, to demo it for you now.
Thanks, Jeff. Joining me on stage is AirStrip co-founder Trey Moore. You know, AirStrip plays an important role in our country's healthcare system, leveraging the use of iPhone and iPad. But here comes another game changer for healthcare, Apple Watch. Let's start with a physician who's viewing his daily schedule, making rounds, and communicating with the team. Now, if I look at my watch face, I can see my next patient, I can notice their diagnosis, and I can actually time travel to see what's next. But let's see what happens if a nurse sends me a notification. Now, within the message itself, I can see the alert, the waveform snippet, vital signs, and the lab results. The reason that I can immediately see all of this relevant data is because once I have the watch on, I am securely authenticated until I take it off. Now let's go back and dig a little deeper on that waveform. I really want to know what's happening right now. Now, thank you. Now, this wasn't possible until watchOS 2. But what I really care about is I want to compare what happens in real time to what has been happening more recently. And I can do that on Apple Watch by rotating the digital crown. Now, as you can see, AirStrip magically pulls all this data together into a single view through our AirStrip One platform. And we make it available to Apple Watch for display. But what is so great is I can take action on what I see. Here, I can send a HIPAA-compliant, secure message to a member of the patient's care team. In this instance, I'm going to order a repeat ECG. Okay, we're going to switch gears. Let's talk about how AirStrip with Apple Watch will change how doctors communicate with their patients. Now, AirStrip has been used already to monitor over 3.5 million pregnant women in the hospital. But with our new product, Sense for Baby, we can now monitor these women at home leveraging Apple Watch. So here you see a message from a doctor to the pregnant patient at home asking her to begin monitoring her baby's heart with something called a non-stress test, or an NST. Now the mom, with the watch on her wrist and connected to the Sense for Baby sensors on her belly, starts the test. Now, as I can see on this green line, I can confirm that I'm monitoring the mother's heart rate as it's being read by Apple Watch. But I can also see the baby's heart rate and the mother's contractions as they're being read from Sense for Baby. So finally I can differentiate between the mother's heart rate and the baby's heart rate, which has been a problem for many years with home monitoring. Now, while she's doing this test, she can actually listen to the baby's heart rate right on her wrist. Thank you. That's really cool, isn't it? Now, when the test is done, she can simply send all that data from her watch back to her doctor. And then later that evening, she gets a message from the doctor telling her, I've read your NST, your baby's doing just fine. So AirStrip plus Apple Watch together will redefine how messaging and communication occurs in healthcare. Thank you very much.
It is amazing what kind of power that you now have on your wrist. It's really incredible, and we've got some great new looks. Next up is iPad. Yes, iPad. iPad is the clearest expression of our vision of the future of personal computing. A simple, multi-touch piece of glass that instantly transforms into virtually anything that you want it to be. In just 5 years, iPad has transformed the way we create, the way we learn, and the way we work. We're partnering with the world's leading enterprise companies, IBM and Cisco, to redefine and transform the way people work in the enterprise. As we've brought more and more capability and more power to the iPad, we've been amazed at the new and unexpected things that our customers have done with the iPad. So we asked ourselves, how could we take iPad even further? Today, we have the biggest news in iPad since the iPad. And I am thrilled to show it to you. This is the iPad Pro. It's the most capable and powerful iPad we've ever created. It is chock full of amazing advanced technologies and innovation. To tell you all about it, I'd like to invite Phil Schiller up. Phil?
Thank you, Tim. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. I am so excited to tell you about this incredible new iPad Pro. It has a huge screen, the biggest we've ever built in an iOS device. It has more power and performance than any iOS device we've ever made either. But let's start with that display. Why make an iPad with a bigger display? With a larger display, well, think about the iPad from the very beginning. It's a magical piece of glass you hold in your hands, and you can touch the software. You can touch the web pages we surf. We can touch the books we read. We can touch the documents we create. And it can do things that a smartphone can't do because it doesn't have to fit in your pocket. And it's thin and light enough to hold all day long so that it can do things that a notebook can't do. So with a bigger screen iPad, your TV shows and movies are more cinematic. The games we play are more immersive and powerful. And an iPad is always a multi-touch device. So now with the bigger iPad Pro, you can have a full-size software keyboard. So you can type in your documents with this great big keyboard. And keyboards can do many things, like be an amazing musical instrument. Yeah, somebody likes music. We can do something on an iPad that you can't do on a notebook. And the new multitasking features in iOS 9, slide over, split view, picture-in-picture, were designed with this iPad Pro in mind. They make it so much more productive and capable. So how big is the screen on the iPad Pro? It's 12.9 inches on that diagonal. Why 12.9 inches? Well, here, let me tell you a little secret about its size. Let's put next to it our previous largest iPad. That's iPad Air 2. If you look at the width of the iPad Pro, it is the same as the height of the iPad Air. And then we take that height and we make a 4:3 ratio. And now you have an iPad big enough to run your full iPad Air apps with more room side by side. It is an incredible display. It is 2732 by 2048 pixels. Do the math, it's 5.6 million pixels. Far more than on any iOS device before. In fact, that's even more pixels than a 15-inch MacBook Pro with Retina display. It is a beautiful display. Your photos will look amazing on it. Huge, incredibly detailed, rich colors. Your documents will be full size with laser-sharp text. And I'll say it again, watching movies on it is incredible. It's an amazing experience. This is the most advanced display we have ever built. It took some incredible innovation in technology. For example, we used the technology that we created in the iMac with Retina 5K display and its timing controller to drive all those pixels quickly. We made it look beautiful with our photo alignment technique, which means it has great on-axis contrast ratio. It's made of the best oxide TFT material, which means we can light up the pixels quickly and have uniform color and brightness. And for the first time in an Apple display, it has a variable refresh rate. That means that if things aren't moving quickly on the display, we can slow it down and save energy. This is an amazing display. And inside it, something even more amazing, the chip that powers it. This is the new A9X chip. It's our third generation 64-bit chip. We've doubled bandwidth to memory. We've doubled the read and write performance to flash storage. It is so fast. How fast is it? The new A9X is 1.8 times faster than the A8X it replaces. This is desktop class performance. If you compare what our team has done, our chip team is just on fire. Over the last 5 years, they've grown performance in the iPad 22-fold for CPU tasks. and graphics tasks are even faster. We've doubled the performance of graphics over the A8X. And over the last 5 years, this is unbelievable. Graphics performance has gone up 360 times. The biggest jump in this year alone. You combine that fast hardware with great software, like in iOS 9, our Metal libraries for writing games and applications directly to that graphics chips, and you get incredible performance. But here's another way to think about how fast iPad Pro is. It is faster than 80% of the portable PCs that shipped in the last 12 months. Yes. That's at CPU tasks. At graphics tasks, it's faster than 90% of them. So when you run tasks and applications that we all love to use, they get incredibly fast. For example, iMovie. Running iMovie on an iPad Pro delivers desktop-class performance. With iMovie, you can now edit 3 streams of 4K video simultaneous. That's incredible performance. And it's going to enable new classes of applications for iPad. For example, check this out. This is AutoCAD 360 from Autodesk. It's an incredibly powerful application. This image has 320,000 objects in its wireframe mesh. And you can zoom in and pan around it with buttery 60 frame per second smoothness, something you can't do on a PC. And all that power comes with all-day battery life, 10 hours of battery life. So we've got an amazing display, incredible performance, great battery life. So we thought this display deserves a great sound system. And so for the first time ever in an Apple product, we now have a 4-speaker audio system. And it automatically balances the left and the right depending on how you're holding the iPad. And it balances the frequencies between the top and the bottom dynamically to create a beautiful stereo sound stage. And it puts out 3 times the audio volume of an iPad Air 2. You really have to listen to it. It's amazing. And that's packed into a device that's incredibly thin and light. Here's the iPad Pro. Let's bring in the iPad Air underneath it. And you can see they're both amazingly thin. The iPad Pro is just 6.9 millimeters thin. The iPad Air, 6.1. Very, very close. What about the weight of it? Well, here, let's bring in the original first iPad. It's kind of fun. They're both just around 1.5 pounds, which is unbelievable because the iPad Pro has a 78% larger screen area. It has 360 times more graphics power. It is thin and light enough to hold all day and powerful enough to take everywhere, whether you want to watch movies in the park or edit a film on location. This is an amazing iPad. But the story doesn't stop there. Let's go back to that software keyboard. It's a great keyboard. It dynamically changes as we use different applications. And it's how most of us will type on our iPad Pro. But because we're enabling applications not possible before in an iPad, sometimes you like the convenience of a physical keyboard. So we're very excited to tell you about a brand new accessory just for iPad Pro, and it's called the Smart Keyboard. This is unlike any keyboard you've ever used before. It's covered in an Apple woven fabric. That fabric creates the cover, but also forms the structure and the feel of those keys. And they feel really great to type on. Inside is a new Apple dome switch that we pioneered with the MacBook. And it works beautifully in this great new smart keyboard. So how do you attach or connect this smart keyboard to your iPad Pro? Well, if you look closely, there are 3 new circles along the side of the iPad Pro. This is a brand new connector technology. We call it the Smart Connector. It carries power and data and connects magnetically to the smart keyboard. So when you want to attach your iPad to the keyboard, you just slide it on it. And the software in iOS 9 automatically adapts and changes because it knows you want to use the physical keyboard versus the soft keyboard. So that's the new smart keyboard designed specifically for the iPad Pro. So that's typing. Let's talk about drawing and illustration. Customers have created amazing works of art, drawing on their iPads with their fingers. iPad's all about multi-touch, and we will continue to use our hands to interact in amazing ways on iPad. But iPad Pro is going to enable new classes of applications that require even greater precision ever possible before. A new level of precision and accuracy that requires some amazing innovation. So we're so happy to introduce to you another brand new accessory specifically for iPad Pro. It looks like this. It's called Apple Pencil. And this Apple Pencil is packed with so much amazing new technology. We have a great video to tell you all about it now.
Touch, of course, is the primary method of interaction with iPad. To enhance what's possible with multi-touch and to allow for a new level of precision with iPad Pro, we've designed Apple Pencil. This began by re-engineering the touch subsystem of the display to measure both finger and stylus input on the same plane with optimal accuracy. When you're using the pencil, the system scans twice as often, allowing iPad Pro to capture more points in a single stroke. Highly responsive sensors built into the tip of Apple Pencil work with the iPad Pro display to detect position, force, and tilt. With force data, you can press lightly to get a thin stroke or press harder to get a darker, bolder stroke. Signals emitted from two locations in the tip calculate the angle and orientation to produce broad or shaded strokes. Its unique tip signature allows it to be used simultaneously with your finger. And with incredibly low latency, it has a responsiveness that feels like a true writing or drawing instrument. While its battery lasts for hours of use, a Lightning connector lets you recharge by plugging directly into iPad Pro. Apple Pencil is designed to look and feel like a familiar tool. Yet with its carefully engineered technology, working with our most advanced multi-touch display, it delivers something extraordinary. Precision that actually gives you the ability to touch a single pixel.
This Apple Pencil is absolutely amazing. And to get that level of low latency so it feels like you're drawing directly on the display took an incredible effort of collaboration between our hardware, software, and design teams. And they've done a remarkable job. And customers are going to feel it every time they use it. They can use it within built-in apps in iOS, like our new Notes app, where you can draw and diagram directly with Apple Pencil. Or in Mail, where now with our new markup feature, when someone sends you an attachment, you can draw and mark up right on that attachment and send it on to them. You're going to see new applications from developers that have created features that take full advantage of this huge iPad Pro display, all its power, and most of all, Apple Pencil. Like Procreate, an incredible fine art, illustration, and drawing application that just comes alive on iPad Pro. And applications we've not seen before, like this. It's called UMake. It's designed specifically for iPad and takes full advantage of that display and that incredible Apple Pencil. Well, Apple Pencil is one of the most advanced technologies we've ever created in a simple, beautiful form. This is the most advanced iPad we've made by a long shot. It's a 12.9-inch Retina display. It's our A9X, third generation 64-bit chip. It has, for the first time, a 4-speaker audio system, full all day, 10-hour battery life. It has an 8-megapixel eyesight camera. It has a FaceTime HD camera. It has Wi-Fi and LTE networking, and of course, our great Touch ID built in. And it's all made in the most environmentally friendly manner possible. A mercury-free LED backlit display, arsenic-free display glass, BFR-free, beryllium-free, PVC-free, and of course, that aluminum glass is highly recyclable. The new iPad Pro comes in 3 finishes: silver, gold, and space gray. So I know right now you're just thinking, how much does it cost? Because I want one. Well, the new iPad Pro starts at just $799. That's with 32 gigs of memory. For 128 gigs, it's 150 more, and it's a configuration with 128 gigs in LTE networking. New iPad Pencil. The new Apple Pencil, $99, and the Smart Keyboard, $169. And they'll all be available starting in November. So that is the new iPad Pro, and we could not be more excited about it. It's the flagship in our iPad line. And starting today, this is what the iPad line looks like. We've now moved iPad Mini 2 down to become our entry-level iPad at a new lower price, just $269. Above it is the brand new iPad Mini 4 that we're also launching today. So what's the iPad Mini 4? Well, simply we've taken the power and performance of iPad Air 2 and built it into an even smaller mini enclosure. It's just 0.65 pounds, incredibly powerful and yet small and light. iPad Air starts at $399 and the iPad Pro at $799. And so that's our news about iPad. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Phil. Terrific. This iPad Pro is really amazing, and we can't wait to see what our developers and customers do with it. Next up is iPhone. iPhone has been embraced by customers around the world, and it's growing by leaps and bounds, not only in the United States, but in all corners of the planet, from India to Turkey to Spain. In fact, at a worldwide level last quarter, iPhone grew at 3.5 times the rest of the industry. This is truly remarkable. And in China, it's even more incredible. iPhone grew a stunning 75% versus the rest of the industry in decline. iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus have been truly amazing. It's been a phenomenal year. iPhone 6 is the most popular iPhone ever. In fact, these are the most popular phones in the world. But more important to us, they are the most loved phones in the world, with customer satisfaction literally off the charts and far above any other phone. Thank you. Now, so how do you follow a success like this? I've got that question a few times. I am thrilled to show you the newest iPhones. Introducing the iPhone 6s And the iPhone 6s Plus, we are driven to innovate at Apple. You've seen that all morning. And no product is more about innovation than the iPhone. From the very start, the iPhone has been about bringing innovations that are really important in people's daily lives. And as a result, iPhone has changed the world. What we have to show you today is really awesome. And while they may look familiar, we have changed everything about these new iPhones. The team has worked incredibly hard to deliver new capabilities that are truly meaningful in our lives. The iPhones you are about to see are the most advanced iPhones ever. And in fact, they are the most advanced smartphones in the world. To walk you through them, I'd like to invite Phil back up to the stage. Phil?
I am truly honored to represent all of the incredible teams at Apple that worked so hard on this product and be the one to present them to you now. Because these new iPhones are absolutely beautiful, the most incredible iPhones we've ever made. This is the brand new rose gold aluminum finish. And while it may look the same, this is an entirely new aluminum. It is an Apple custom alloy of 7000 series aluminum, the same alloys that are used in the aerospace industry. The new iPhone 6s comes in 4 metal finishes: silver, gold, space gray, and the new rose gold. And it comes in 2 sizes: the iPhone 6s with its 4.7-inch Retina display, and the 6s Plus with its 5.5-inch Retina display. And those displays are covered by a brand new glass that's the strongest in the industry. It's made with a dual ion exchange process, and they're incredibly durable. Perhaps the most profound feature iPhone has ever brought to the world is multi-touch. Right? Multi-touch has changed how we interact with our devices. It taught us about pinch and zoom and swipe. And it's truly a profound innovation. So our team's been hard at work trying to imagine how you take multi-touch to the next generation and further deliver a new experience that's just as profound as the first multi-touch. And they've really done it. It's called 3D Touch. 3D Touch is a tremendous breakthrough in interacting with our devices. We have a great video to introduce it to you now.
With iPhone and multi-touch, we introduced a whole new way to interact with technology. Tapping, swiping, and pinching have forever changed the way we navigate and experience our digital world. Until now, these gestures have been defined by a singular plane in 2-dimensional space. For iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, we're introducing an entirely new interaction and a whole new dimension to the way you experience your iPhone. It's made possible by a technology called 3D Touch. This is the next generation of multi-touch. For the first time, along with recognizing familiar gestures, iPhone also recognizes force, enabling new gestures, peek and pop. .3D Touch works on the home screen, giving you shortcuts to the things you do frequently. It also works inside applications themselves. Press lightly, and it gives you a peek at the content. Continue pressing, and it pops you into the content itself. Sensors embedded in the display read how hard you're pressing and react in a smooth, linear way. This is a dynamic system, deeply integrated into iOS 9. You can dip in and out of where you are, without losing a sense of your context. It provides distinct, tactile feedback for your actions, letting you know exactly what you've done and what to expect. While the way that you use 3D Touch is simple, the engineering behind it is some of our most advanced. At its heart are capacitive sensors integrated into the backlight of the Retina HD display. With each press, these sensors measure microscopic changes in the distance between the cover glass and the backlight. These measurements are then combined with signals from the touch sensor and accelerometer to provide fast, accurate, and continuous response to finger pressure. For a truly communicative experience, we had to develop a more precise level of haptic feedback. While the vibrating system on a typical phone requires 10 or more oscillations to reach full power, the Taptic engine in iPhone 6s reaches peak output in just one cycle and stops just as quickly. This allows us to create shorter, more distinct feedback events, like a mini tap lasting just 10 milliseconds and a full tap which lasts 15 milliseconds. Perhaps more than any other system we've designed, 3D Touch is a clear example of how hardware and software developed together can work to define a singular experience. This is the next generation of multi-touch. It makes this iPhone the most advanced iPhone we have ever created.
This is unlike any experience you've ever seen in a smartphone, and it took unique collaboration between our hardware, our software, and design teams to make an experience this profound and new. And now I'd like to give you your very first live demonstration of 3D Touch in action. And to do so, I'd like to invite up none other than our Senior Vice President of Software Engineering, Craig Federici, to give you a demo. Craig?
Well, I'm absolutely thrilled to give you this first look at 3D Touch live in action on the new iPhone. Let's take a look now. And we're going to start with something we do every day, and that's in mail. Now, in the past, in mail, if I had a message like this one at the top that I wanted to get a little bit better look at, I'd tap in like this. I might take a look and realize, no, this isn't something I want to deal with now. So I'd maybe bring up a sheet, mark it as unread, and go back. So I do a lot of in and out, in and out. Well, with 3D Touch, we don't need to do this anymore. So now I can just apply just a little bit of pressure like that and dive right into a message. Take a quick look, let go. I'm right back to where I started from. Now, sometimes I take a look at a message, I take that peek, get a good look at it, and realize I actually want to go deeper. So I press deeper, and I'm right in the message. I've popped in, and I can take a look just like always. Now, occasionally I'll see a message like this. It looks like Dan Riccio says, check out my new Apple ride. Well, I've been hearing things about this on the internet, so I'm curious to see what we'll see here. I'll take a little peek, maybe make some news here today. Oh, exactly. Yeah, and so when I see a message like this, I might want to take action. Well, now I can just flick up and get to actions that easily. Or for common actions, I can just slide to the side to mark something as read, or in this case, send it on its way to the trash. So, of course, Force Touch or 3D Touch is integrated throughout the system in all the apps you use most. Let's take a look in Messages. Now, here, I've been having a conversation with a friend about an upcoming visit. Messages has spotted a time when she's coming into town. Well, now I can just peek on that time and see what's going on in my calendar, maybe even create an event. The phone also spotted that she sent me a flight number. Well, I can peek in on that. Look at that, I get details right on the incoming flight time. That's really convenient. Now, your friends often send you great ideas about what you guys might do together when they're in town. Here's a web link. And now I don't have to go to Safari. I can just peek in and take a look right here within Messages at that web page, and maybe that's something we won't be doing during this visit. So we can see that right inside of Messages. But now what's really great about 3D Touch is it lets me take action on apps without even having to open them. So I might want to call one of my favorites. Well, watch what happens. I can get to them right here directly from my home screen. Or maybe I want to listen to music like Beats One or a song from my favorite band. Well, I can do that right here. And sometimes you need to take that emergency selfie and you want to get directly to the selfie camera. Well, now you can. And when you want to preview those selfies to make sure you got the right shot, just peek in. You can slide right back and forth and see that you got the shot you were looking for. It's really handy. Now, when you're on the go with Maps, I can just peek in here, get directions right to home, or drop a pin to mark my location so I can find my car. And on locations on the map, I can just peek in like this, get more information on hours, directions, or even call. It's just so much more direct and natural than ever before. Now, 3D Touch also makes it easier to navigate across apps. So in the past, I would do this by double-clicking on my home button to get into multitasking. It's pretty cool. I can go, let's say, go into Messages. Well, now with 3D Touch, I can just apply a little bit of force on the edge and look what happens. Go right into my applications just like that. I can swipe across and pick an app. And if I want to go back to the previous app, in a single gesture, I can just swipe across between apps. It's totally epic. Now, we've been able to bring in some of our great third-party developers over the past couple of weeks to see what they could do with 3D Touch, and their feedback has been phenomenal. Dropbox makes it easier now right from your home screen to get at your recent documents or upload photos, search your Dropbox. On Facebook, I can update my status or check in right here from my home screen. With WeChat, I can take one of their site videos just like this. And Instagram, now they've really gone to town. I can jump right in to my activity feed. And when I'm in here with these little picture thumbnails, well, of course, I can peek right in. If I want to favorite or like one, I can do it just like this. Or if there's a person I follow and I want to see all of their photos, well, I can, of course, dive deeper and pop right in and take a look at these great images. It's just such a natural way to browse Instagram. And of course, they even made it play videos automatically. So no matter what you like to do with your phone, 3D Touch makes it better than ever. I think you're going to love it. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Craig. So that's 3D Touch, and it transforms your experience with your iPhone. Inside your iPhone, it's the fastest chip we've ever built into a phone, the new A9 chip. Also our third generation 64-bit chip. It's built with the new transistor architecture. It means we can drive faster performance while being more energy efficient. And our software team has worked together with our chip team to enable it to be maximum performance for the kinds of tasks we do every day. And it delivers a big jump in performance. Compared to the A8, it is 70% faster at CPU tasks. And at graphics tasks, it's 90% faster. This is a big jump in performance. It's going to make using our phone so much faster and a lot more fun. So the A9 has an incredible CPU for performance. It has incredible graphics. And we've also, for the first time, built in our motion coprocessor, M9, directly into the chip. This is the coprocessor that helps keep track of things like our health and fitness data throughout the day. And it is now able to be always on as it's integrated. This helps with other tasks as well. For example, we have our new Hey Siri feature. And with Hey Siri, whether you're plugged in or not, you can speak directly to your iPhone and ask Siri things like, hey Siri, what's it like being you?
Hey Phil, hey Phil, hey Phil, hey Phil. There, that's kind of how it feels.
Siri's definitely sassy. The new iPhone 6s includes a new second-generation Touch ID sensor. It's twice as fast, so it's so lightning quick now. When you touch it, you can't believe how quickly it recognizes your fingerprint. Perhaps the feature many of us love the most about our iPhones is the camera. It's an incredible camera, and our customers take stunning photographs with it, like this one. This is taken by a customer. Perhaps you've seen it outside in our World Gallery campaign. It's truly beautiful. But we've got a great camera in iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. And customers are going to love taking photos with it because it's now an all-new iSight camera. In fact, it's a 12-megapixel iSight camera. That's 50% more pixels than before, enabling a tremendous improvement, increase in detail in your photos. But as you know, many sensors, as you add pixels, you degrade image quality in important ways. And our team set a goal that we were not going to add pixels until we could do so without trading off the legendary image quality of the iSight camera. And they've done that. So how did we do it? Well, first let's talk about the sensor. Let's go inside. Here is the iSight camera sensor. It's got 50% more pixels, and with that, 50% more focus pixels, so its autofocus is even faster and more accurate. Now, typically, when you're taking a picture, the light comes in, and the photons excite the photosensors. And as you pack the pixels closer together, there are artifacts. This is called crosstalk. You see the photodiodes there, and the colors bleeding between them. If they get too close, you get inaccurate color, you get noise in your images. There are a number of techniques our team has worked on to help reduce that, to maintain image quality. For example, we've taken the color filters that sit above the photodiodes and moved them down on top of it. That helps. In addition, we've got great technology called deep trench isolation. If you take one thing away today, you'll tell people, I learned about deep trench isolation. It separates the photodiodes and helps to maintain very accurate and precise color. Well, the reality is we don't need to know any of this. All we have to know is that we can take even better pictures with an iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. As we do every time, we like to give our phones to great photographers to travel around the world and show us what can be done with these incredible iSight cameras. So the photos we're going to show you now were taken with iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, and they have not been retouched in any way. This is just as they come out of the iPhone. These were taken in Iceland. One of the things you see, as our goal was, fantastic color. The skin tones are really accurate. The depth of field is incredible. This was also taken in Iceland. This is Hershey Mountain. Guess how it got its name? Now, what's important in this is the sky is a beautiful, rich sky. It has no noise in it that you can see, which is one of the artifacts you would get as you pack pixels closer together. This is a beautiful picture of the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. You might have guessed that's a lagoon, but can you guess what this is? It's amazing, painterly. This is a photo taken from a plane down onto a river delta system. The level of detail with the 12-megapixel sensor is fantastic. Here's another detailed photo. This is a photo over Manhattan. Again, tremendous improvement in the incredible detail of these photographs. Here's a really tough one. This was taken in a ferry in New York. And it's challenged by the fact of both natural light and artificial light. Again, not retouched in any way, the iPhone 6s camera nails exposure and accurate color. It's beautiful. Here's a photo taken in Italy. The buildings are beautiful, and again, the sky rendered in very low noise. You get that beautiful salmon color just at sunset. Here's a photo taken in almost no light on a river in China. You can see incredible level of detail in the water despite there being almost no light. Here's a couple animal photos. Here's one of two East African crown cranes. Very cool. And last, this is a scarlet macaw. This is a bird with attitude. Its color is beautiful. The colors are exactly accurate. It nailed them. And as we zoom in, you can see the incredible level of detail and sharpness from that 12-megapixel sensor. Now, with the bigger sensor, we can also take even bigger panoramas, and panoramas are loved by our customers. This is a 63-megapixel panorama photo. Let's zoom in and pan across it. Again, you see the accurate blue sky with low noise. You see incredible exposure across the scene, and you don't see any stitching lines. Just a beautiful photo. So the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus can take incredible photos better than ever before. can also take amazing videos, HD videos, and now for the first time in an iPhone, 4K videos. So what's a 4K video? Well, when you shoot your video, you get a higher degree of detail. In every frame, there are 8 million pixels. It's an incredibly detailed video. And let me give you an example. We shot a video here. Again, this is directly out of an iPhone 6S. Now, what's truly remarkable is that video was shot on an iPhone 6S and edited in iMovie on that iPhone. So incredible to shoot and edit 4K videos directly on your iPhone. Along with the iSight camera, we have a new FaceTime camera. It's a 5-megapixel FaceTime HD camera. So you can take incredibly detailed selfies of you and your friends and their friends, and they'll all come out beautiful. As you know, on the back side with our iSight camera, we have a great flash, the best in the industry. It's called the True Tone Flash. And it takes flash pictures by matching the ambient light and giving you a more accurate flash lighting color in your photos. We wanted to bring that technology to the front side for your FaceTime camera. And of course, we realized, well, wait a minute, we already have a beautiful big LED backlit display. So we're going to use the Retina display to be a Retina flash, in fact, one that matches the ambient lighting color and could be a True Tone flash to perfectly match your photos. And this took some amazing engineering from the team. Not only do we match the colors, but inside, with the display chip, they've engineered it so that it will light up 3 times brighter when you need to use it for a flash. So in even very low light, you get incredible flash photos from your FaceTime camera. So that's the FaceTime and iSight cameras in the iPhone 6S and 6S Plus. And you're going to love taking photos with them. The one thing about the photos, if you look over time, the camera team has been doing remarkable work year after year. We're increasing the sensors to make them more capable, adding autofocus pixels. We're improving the lenses to be even more sharp and aligned and accurate. We've got incredible image processing that's faster and lower power, and on, with great features, auto HDR, burst mode, panoramas, on. And they all are in service of delivering one thing, a beautiful picture. And what are pictures? They're these magical moments just frozen in time that we can keep forever and share with our family and friends. And with iPhone 6S and 6S Plus, you can now take even more stunning photos. But what if we could do something more? Teams come up with something truly brilliant. What if you could press with 3D touch on your photos and this happened? This is entirely new technology. It's called live photos. This is remarkable. We can take photos just as we're used to, like this beautiful panorama or beautiful outdoor scene, and then you press on it, and you see the waters ripple, reminding you of the moment you took the photo. Or you have a street scene, beautiful sunlight, you press on it, and the cars begin to move. And these live photos can have sound. When you go into your photo roll and you swipe across them, you see a little bit of a moment of vitality, a sense of how alive they are. It's a beautiful experience, unlike any other way of interacting with photos. So how do you take a live photo? Well, that's the amazing part. You don't do anything different. You just take a photo as you always have. And it's the same beautiful high-resolution, now 12-megapixel photo. On top of the status bar, you see a new icon. Those 3 concentric circles lit up yellow. By default, it's on. You just take pictures, and now they're live photos. And when you're taking them, you get a small little indication that it's live because it'll capture a second and a half on either side of the photo. These are still photos. They're not videos. They're 12 megapixel high quality still images with all the incredible effects you want on a photo. But we extend the capture moment just before and just after you took it. And we do it in a space efficient way so they don't take up much more room. And the teams have done an amazing job to support this across all of Apple's products. So you can watch live photos on OS X El Capitan, you can see them on your iPad, you can see them on your iPhones, and yes, you can see them on your Apple Watch. And with the new photo face, you can set a live photo as your watch face. So every time you raise your arm, it comes alive as it's telling you the time. This is amazing. Yes. We have so many developers that do an incredible job with photo support in their apps. We want to make sure they support live photos too. So we're creating new developer APIs. And we've been working with some developers like Facebook. We'll be supporting live photos within the Facebook app on iOS this year. So that's the new camera system. We also have incredible advancements in our wireless as well. LTE has LTE Advanced, so it's twice as fast. And there are 23 bands of wireless LTE networking. That's the most in any smartphone. In fact, it makes iPhone unquestionably the best phone for traveling around the world. Wi-Fi is faster too. It's up to twice as fast. And of course, every iPhone 6S and 6S Plus runs iOS 9 and all the great features that we've talked about, from the new advancements in Siri to proactive assistance, the new News app, which is amazing for reading news on the go on your iPhone, the new Notes app, and of course, Transit in Maps. You've probably heard that more and more Android customers are switching to iPhones. And it's true. Who can blame them, right? So we want to help that. You're going to find a new app on the Android store from Apple that you can download to your Android phone. When you set up your iPhone, it'll make it easier to get all your important information over to your iPhone. It's the neighborly thing to do, right? iPhone 6S and 6S Plus comes with some great accessories. There's some new charging docks that match the metal finishes of your iPhone. There's new leather covers in 5 beautiful new leather materials. There's new silicone covers in 11 new colors. In fact, one of them is in this great product red. So that's iPhone 6S and 6S Plus. Of course, as all Apple products are, they're made in the most environmentally friendly way possible. Mercury-free LED display glass. Come on, you can say it with me. Arsenic-free displays, BFR-free, beryllium-free, PVC-free, and of course, highly recyclable aluminum and glass. Tim told you, these are our most advanced phones ever. In fact, the most advanced phones in the world. Just look at everything embodied in these new phones. The new 3D touch experience, transforming how we interact with our phones. The strongest material yet, our 7000 series aluminum, strongest cover glass in the industry. Our new 64-bit third generation A9 chip. Our second generation Touch ID, twice as fast. Faster LTE, twice as fast. Faster Wi-Fi, twice as fast. Our new 12 megapixel iSight camera with 4K video editing. New 5 megapixel FaceTime HD camera. A Retina flash on the front side so you can take FaceTime pictures in low light. And of course, I think you're going to love this feature when you get to use it, live photos. So that is all the great news on the new iPhones. Back to Tim.
Thanks, Phil. These new iPhones are truly the most advanced iPhones we've ever created. And we're so proud of them. We want to tell the world about them. And to do that, we've made an ad. I'd love to show it to you.
This is iPhone 6S. Not much has changed, except it responds to the pressure of your finger. So you can peek into stuff. And pop stuff open, which changes how you play a song. Read a text. Read an email. Read the news. Wait, you read the news?
Yep.
Of course you do. Now you can change apps like this. Pay at more places like this. And the new color looks like this. It's rose gold. It's awesome. And Siri is more helpful than ever.
Hey Siri, show me photos of tortellini.
Here are some images of tortellini. Maybe get takeout? The camera shoots 4K video now, which changes how your movies look. Nice. Even selfies have changed. Now your screen is the flash. That's gonna get like 1 million likes.
Thanks.
Actually, photos themselves have changed. They move now. You just touch them. So yeah, that's what's changed.
So hard on delivering all of the great things you've seen this morning. Please stand up. I'm applauding you.